Thank you.
My name is Callie Daniels-Howell, and I am a recent graduate of Heron High School, and I will be attending Kalamazoo College in fall. And this is my good story. Church has always been ingrained in my life. Both of my grandfathers were ministers, and it is a very rare occasion that my family misses church on Sunday mornings. I have helped in Sunday school, gone on numerous retreats, and have participated in various service and mission trips. And yet, I am not someone who is fully certain about church or someone who comes at religion in the traditional way. In fact, my family often teases me that my most fervent prayers come when I am deeply craving pie from hunger. It is not that I don't love this place. This church is another home, this congregation an extension of my family. I have always felt comfort within these walls and love within your arms as I made my way through my years at North. Grounded in your love, I have learned about myself and my place in the world through activities both here and in the greater community. Grounded in your love, I learned about leadership on the 2006 middle school girls trip to the Arkansas Heifer Ranch. Before the trip, I remember being so nervous about how I would lead and guide the girls on the trip as I was told to do. I took the job very seriously, prepping devotionals and motivational talks, and gearing myself up to be exceptionally friendly to each of the trip's participants. And then, halfway through the trip, on the night after our global village experience, in which we lived as an impoverished Thai family for a night, barely sleeping or eating, the group was getting their first full meal in 2 days. I mentioned Looney Tunes to Annie Darrow, and it was all over from there. I believe we laughed for at least 45 minutes straight that night, much to the annoyance of the rest of our group. In that time, when I wasn't reading poems, being responsible, or exceptionally liked, I became, rather than an official mentor or leader, a friend to the girls on the trip. Rather than acting like the adult who I thought I was supposed to be, I was being simply me, the girl who, when sleep deprived, gets a little slap happy and finds the Looney Tunes to be utterly hilarious. Grounded in your love, through the years I have learned about the various forms of service. 2 years after our Lacking Marathon in Arkansas, Annie and I were put on the same Appalachia Service Project crew with 3 older guys who looked to us as the small, rookie ASP attenders who would whine and be unable to lift a hammer. While our crew member excluded us, mostly I think because they had too much fun making fun of us, Annie and I were never really a full part of the group either. Then on the second day at our work site where we were repairing a floor, Nick Tuminello, our crew leader, said, "So we have to go under the trailer to put up underfitting. Annie, Callie, you 2 are the only ones who can fit." Under the H trailer were broken cement blocks, old folding chairs, years of built-up trash, raw sewage, chicken nests, you name it. Annie and I, as well as being physically the smallest and youngest, were also the least able in construction on the crew. But we looked at the tiny hole that led to the foot-high space underneath the trailer and knew that we were the ones who had to do it. So we geared up with headlamps, goggles, and gas masks, and under the trailer we went. I will not try to glorify the situation as poignant or powerful. It was terrible. Especially when the hen came back and tried to murder us. And at some point under there, after Amy and I had run out of unheard insults for our clean and comfortable roommates above us, we knew we found undiscovered strength and willpower and just got the job done. While we didn't actually acquire that much physical strength, we did find a determination and desire to be better than I think either of us had been up to that point. Not because we would later get more respect from our crewmates or praise for the work that we did, but because we had to go under the trailer to put up underfitting, and we were the only ones who would fit. Grounded in your love, I made my first trip to Kenya and began to learn from I am most passionate about. During that trip, I sat with youth group friends on one of our last nights, together on the balcony at our hotel in the middle of the night, attempting to eat a mango. We had bought the mango earlier that day at the market, but had neither a knife nor skills for gracefully consuming the juicy fruit. So, we hacked into the skin with a rock and proceeded to dig in with our hands. To anyone passing by, we would have looked nuts. A bunch of American teenagers dripping with sticky mango juice and laughing. We had Simon and Garfunkel playing and were discussing our beliefs, ideas, aspirations. We were endlessly making fun of each other, and were just so comfortable. I looked up to the palm tree above us, beyond which were hundreds of stars, felt the warm breeze, and somehow knew that I would be back in that place. Maybe it wasn't some great epiphany or revelation, but somewhere I discovered within myself a new drive, a new force, a new passion. And from that moment, as cliche and cheesy as it is, my life is not the same. I was not immediately some new person, but in that time, I changed to be the Callie who was going back. Laughing uncontrollably, lying underneath an old trailer, and eating a mango. They weren't exceptional or movie-worthy moments. They were ordinary and somewhat messy. But to me, they were moments that were bigger than myself, as I discovered what it means to be a leader, how to simply do the job because it needs to be done, and what not only my last years of high school were to be, but also what the rest of my life will be. I love coming to this place, looking over the sanctuary to see familiar faces and return warm smiles. However, sitting in these pews on Sunday mornings is often where I feel most distant from higher powers and spirituality. Sometimes I feel that the traditional church is the aspect of my religion that is most a stranger to me. Yet I still come to this warm place because I know that here I have a sturdy foundation from which to explore. I believe that it is your love that allows me to challenge myself and to search beyond the church service to find my religion, as I laugh uncontrollably in Arkansas, fear for my life as a hen charges at me underneath the trailer in Kentucky, and eat a mango in Kenya. I have gone from this church to find my religion amongst the seemingly inconsequential moments, those that are not necessarily considered religious, and found my friend in religion. I have found it in a Chicago soup kitchen on a hot day without air conditioning. I have found it in an email inbox full of job offers from North Church members to support a semester in Kenya. I have found it as I ran down the Sleeping Bear Dunes, holding the hands of my cousins and siblings. I have found it jumping up and down with friends in excitement that our Kenya Night fundraiser was successful. I have found it in a Kenyan child's face as they first discovered the joys of splatter painting. I have found it in the collective groans of my Appalachian Service Project crew as we went to push our van out of mud for the 5th time in 3 days. I have found it at a recent senior breakfast as I watched classmates choke up in gratitude for the acceptance they received from teachers and to students, despite where they come from or who they love. I have found it surrounded by 400 laughing Kenyan students as they tried to teach me how to dance. I have found it in the gift of a simple beaded bracelet from children at a Kenyan hospital, which I now wear every day. As I prepare to leave this place, I know that I will miss you greatly, but I also know that I go grounded in your love. Thank you.
Amen.